Hey guys, Ozzy here, and welcome to Ozpinions, a repository for my Ozpinion on television series, animes, products, and streaming services. Please stay tuned for more content. Hey guys, Ozzy back. How's it going? I just got done watching the newest What If. It's called What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes. So basically what it is a story where instead of what happens in our universe where or on our Earth 616 where the Avengers are formed and they go through and they take care of everything, this particular one we find Tony sitting in the donut just like in Iron Man 2. He's up there and Fury and Natasha are meeting him at the diner, and she goes to inject him with the cure for the virus that's ravaging him right at the time, and instead of it curing him, he dies, and Natasha gets put on trial for his death, or gets taken into custody for his death, and then we see Clint accidentally take out Thor, and then Clint is summarily murdered when he's in a holding cell while Black Widow is out trying to find out what's going on. She ends up with the Hulk, and somehow the Hulk gets exploded, and the Hulk is supposed to be pretty much immortal, and he's gone. Someone's taking out each one of the Avengers one by one. And it's up to Natasha and Nick to find out who it is. Now, again, just like the other two episodes, now I didn't do a recap of the second episode yet. I might do that. I might watch that and then do another video here to get a recap of that, because that was a good episode. That was What If T'Challa Became Star-Lord, and I think I might need to do a video on that in a few. But for right now, let's talk about this one. So it was really good animation. They get the majority of the voice actors are the stars who played the characters on the MCU movies. Like I said, the animation is really beautiful. I really like how in the background, when they're going, like the transitional shots, where you're seeing that they're out in the desert waiting to find out about Thor. As they're panning over the desert before you go in for the interior shot, you see the Watcher's silhouette in the background. When you get to San Francisco at one point in the movie, as it's panning in the show, as it's panning through, you see the Watcher in the background behind the Golden Gate Bridge. Pardon me, and everything. It's really a cool way that they're framing it, because the Watcher is the whole point of the What If. Is it's supposed to be the Watcher telling us these stories from the multiverse, things that happened on Earth that are disparate from our own in some way, shape, or form. So that's supposed to be the whole framing of the story, and anyone who has read the comics growing up knows that that's pretty much how the thing was framed in the comic as well. I know a lot of people right now are getting down on the series. They're saying that it's not canon, it's blah blah. Well, if you're only a MCU fan and not a regular Marvel fan, then you don't realize that everything in these is supposed to be canon. It's just in a different universe. So it's not happening in the universe we're used to, in the Earth we're used to. This is happening on some other Earth, sometimes at the same time as what's going on our Earth, and sometimes at different times. It depends on the particular story. But the whole point of these what if stories is to show us what would happen to our pretty much our beloved characters if situations were different. What if something else had happened? In this case, what if the Avengers had been taken down before they even had a chance to form? How would that affect things? When Loki comes to Earth, what would happen? And that's what these shows and these comics prior to the shows have always been about. Showing us the bullpen's idea of what would happen if something different took place. I remember back in the 90s, there was the whole Age of Apocalypse where Legion went back in time to kill Magneto, and he figured by doing that he would save his father, Professor X, from a life of fighting and everything. So he accidentally kills his father and sparks the Age of Apocalypse. And then there was a what if going, what if Legion went back and had killed Magneto instead? So it's just taking, because you've got to understand, as a writer, I can see this a little bit more probably, but when I sit down to write a story, when I get to a plot point and it diverges, I can go one way or the other. I can either make a character into a killer, or I can make a character into a savior. Depending on what I'm going to do with that character, there's always that part in the back of my head that is saying what would have happened if I made that character a killer. What would have happened if I had made him a savior? How would my story have progressed differently? So as writers, we always have that. It's really nice that What If is allowing the MCU writers to expand on these ideas that are probably already bubbling in their heads. You know, what if the Avengers got taken down? How would things look differently? What would happen? And I'm sure there's a lot of people who ask, maybe not these exact questions, but ask questions of some of the stuff when they're watching these shows too. When you're sitting there watching it, you might be saying to yourself, geez, you know, I really like Star-Lord and everything, and I really like Black Panther and all that. But what would have happened if the Reavers had come and, or Ravagers had come and taken T'Challa instead of Peter Quill? What if Captain Carter, Peggy Carter, had become the Captain America, had taken the Super Soldier Serum instead of Steve? What if the Avengers got taken down instead of rising and protecting the planet? So I'm looking forward to more episodes of this. From what I understand, there's going to be 9 episodes in this first season. Right now we've seen 3, so we're a third of the way through. We only have 3 more to go. But I'm hoping that it really does, for What If, what Loki did for the multiverse and everything. I really hope that it brings people into this idea of the multiverse within the MCU so that we can see more going forward with the things. Anyone who is a fan of the MCU hasn't seen this stuff, but if you're a fan of the comics, you've seen this multiverse over the years. You've seen different Spider-Men doing different things in different areas. It's really a cool concept, and it brings a lot of really neat ideas. Like, we just had the drop of the newest Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and I watched it, and I went freaking crazy. It's going to be awesome. I'm actually planning on shooting a video on that as well. I don't know if it's going to be today or when, or if it's going to be on this channel or one of my other channels. I'm not sure yet. But it's opening this up. We're getting the chance, potentially, and I'm hoping they're really going to do it, that we're going to see Andrew Garfield and we're going to see Tobey Maguire. We're going to see all of the Spider-Men on screen together, because we're going to, this is a way that will allow us to have the X-Men, to have everything that has been in the past, that may not be, like, even Blade can now be tied into the MCU properly with this multiversal idea, because we can say that this was a Blade from a different Earth. This was Earth 7395. That was where this Blade took place, whereas our home Earth is 616. So we saw Blade, but it was from a different Earth. It's a way to tie all of these movies that have been in the past into the extended MCU to make it more like the DCEU, which is good, because I really want all of my Marvel movies and all of my Marvel shows to be part of Marvel. I like all of the old stuff that has come out before. Since Blade came out, everything really, Blade kind of changed the whole aspect, and now that it can all be tied in one way, shape, or form, it's really cool. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up like button, and don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And if you did both of those things, find that bell icon, that's the notification icon, click on that so you get notified anytime I upload new content. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had a blast shooting it. I'm having a wonderful time watching these shows. They're very fun, and like with a lot of things, I like animated. You guys know that. I've put up a lot of stuff about animated shows and stuff like that. I do like a lot of animated stuff. It holds my interest, and to be honest, you know, a lot of stuff nowadays, there's some really good storytelling in animated shows. You guys just have to give it a chance. I'll be putting up a lot more reviews for not just these shows, but also a lot of other shows. I hope you guys are enjoying the content, and I'll talk to you later. Ozzy out. Bye.